Welcome to Webcertain TV. I'm Gemma Houghton. Today I'm here with Jeroen Maljers, who's the founder of Swydo, a company focusing on reporting for online marketers. Today we're going to be talking about how it grew into different markets and a global customer base. So hi, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
So could you just give us a bit of background as where you started with the tool and how you decided to expand internationally?
Yeah, sure. Swydo originated from an agency. We were an agency like 10 years ago, and we had this reporting problem. So we were mainly active in the SMB markets, and these clients really needed to educate what we did for them. They didn't really understand what is the job of an online marketer to change things in the campaigns, etc. So we were searching in the market for a tool. We could not find it, and it sounds simple, but then we created it ourselves. So. Of a couple of years after we used it internally, we decided to see if the market was ready also for using our tool. So we talked to some agencies, hey, do you have also a need for this solution? And slowly we started introducing it as a separate brand. And now in 2018 it's a company. We more or less stopped with the agency. And Swydo is a company with like 1,500 clients worldwide, mostly agencies that use our tool for reporting purposes.
So, starting off in a busy market where there's already a lot of tools and where it's difficult to, find the way in. What was your starting point for actually marketing it as a tool and taking it to a wider audience?
Well, actually, when we started like 6-7 years ago, we first needed like 1-2 years to really see how we would approach the market. Yeah. And we were not so successful in the beginning because our tool was too complicated at the first and our website was too complicated. But once we really addressed that problem and we simplified everything in 2013, then it really started to accelerate, the growth really started to accelerate. The market was not really mature then, so I think we were maybe one of the first tools really focused on this specific area. Nowadays it's more crowded in the market, specifically in the reporting tools, of course. Our success mainly was driven by really focusing on what problem do we solve for these agencies, and the problem is reporting. So when we really narrowed down our proposition to the market, then we started to gain success.
So that's one key tip. If you're doing something new, don't try and do too much at once. Really focus on what the main benefit is.
Yeah, the main benefit, don't overcomplicate it. On your website, just have one main message. Also in your campaigns, in your online campaigns, just focus on this problem that you're solving. If you do search, then use those keywords. And then you have a nice funnel that every step in this funnel is balanced. The end user is not confused when he arrives at the website because he clicked on to find a solution for his problem.
And that's what he finds.
And that's what he finds. Yeah. And then you have like a coherent funnel in your marketing efforts, and that drove our success.
And in terms of actual marketing channels and tactics that you used, which did you find most effective? How did you kind of build up that marketing strategy?
Well, in the beginning, and of course still money is not unlimited, but in the beginning our budget was very tight. So we had hardly any paying customers like 5-6 years ago, but we still wanted to enter the market. So then you really become very creative where to spend it. And we decided to really focus it on search marketing, only on search marketing, because there people are searching for a solution to the problem. And really focus only on target areas where we thought that the problem was the highest and the most profound. And also we chose like one market because you cannot do worldwide. So we chose, let's do the English-speaking markets or the countries where people understand English, and let's start there. So actually people thought we are based in the Netherlands, but a lot of our clients thought that we're based in the US because we started in the US with our marketing efforts.
Yeah, and that's key, not to try and spread yourself too thin or try and be everywhere all at once.
Well, if you have a really large budget, or you have VC funding or whatever,
of course. You need a lot of resources as well to do that and manage it internally and be able to then deliver. if you can advertise perhaps in lots of languages, but if you can't then offer any support in those languages or any extra information, then
exactly.
it's not
So
really
I'm
worth it.
not saying that it is not possible. I think if you have a large funding and you're really good in managing that, then it's possible, of course. But in our case, with a limited budget, we chose, okay, let's do like US, UK, some countries in Europe, let's start over there, and New Zealand and Australia. And later on we were lucky to have a very good Spanish employee also, and so we could address also like South America and the Spanish-speaking countries, but that was luck on our side.
And when you're starting out with these campaigns and you're focusing very much on the search, what were the main things to do to maximise, if you've not got a big budget, to really get the most out of that spend and make sure your campaigns perform as well as possible? Yeah,
I usually tell that I'm an addict to the search term report in AdWords and the negatives, because if you look at the search term report and you see what people really typed in when they clicked on your advertisement, that's very valuable information, because there you can see, is this really the intent that they had? Is this really the problem that I'm solving? And if it's totally irrelevant, get those words out of your advertising campaigns, add more negatives, because it's a waste of money if people click on your advertisements and at the same time it's not relevant to them. So what we're really focused on, and we still do that, is nearly daily add new negatives, because you want really like a focused
refine your campaigns.
Refine your campaigns constantly, yeah. And
did you just focus on AdWords, or did you try kind of advertising on social channels or other platforms, or very much on the very search driven?
Well, unfortunately, AdWords is still the main channel in search. We tried some Bing, and we see it's come up a little bit. It's increasing, but it's still quite limited in this B2B space that we are advertising in. Yeah. Maybe it's larger in consumer channels. Yeah. But for B2B, it's still quite limited. What we used, but what is more like a case-by-case basis, is advertising on LinkedIn, for instance, or advertising on Facebook. But we did that more like in a special campaign way. So push maybe an article, push maybe a white paper, focus maybe on a real small target group, which LinkedIn is excellent in. For instance, you can really focus on you can even upload the companies that you want to target. Yeah. So LinkedIn is quite good at that. But then you're not really in the problem solving stage. Maybe you are more like in another stage that people get acquainted with your solution. Maybe you realize that they have a problem. So you're not really in the buying stage. Yeah. So we did it in a later stage of our company also, when we had a little bit more marketing budget. Yeah. And we more or less were in full power in the search marketing. And we said, okay, this channel is optimized. We cannot put more budget in it because there are actually no more searches. Yeah. Then we added more layers on top of it. Yeah. So it's at the beginning, focus on when you've really got to focus and you're trying to grow, focus on the people with the real intent, keep it small, and as you grow, you've then got the potential to expand out. And how much do you use other channels now that you're more established and have a lot of customers? Things like content marketing, blogs, other kind of content. Is that something that is effective also, or? Sure, because you also want to be to present yourself as an authority in the space that you're active in. And our clients expect also, of course, that we have a high knowledge of all the channels that we report on, that we educate them in what you can do with a report, how to communicate with your clients. So it's very important that we are seen as an authority in this market space. So our blog really matured last 2-3 years, and it started more like announcing new features, but now we really have a good content blog with good articles, with people in our network also that write for us. So, and I think it's quite important not only to generate leads, that's not really the goal, but more like setting Swydo as a brand in this marketing space, in a reporting space. And are there any markets that you've tried to get into or tried to work with and found more difficult than others to enter? Sure. We're still struggling a little bit with some countries where we think our tool is excellent, usable, should should be a perfect fit with the market, but we still have not really high market share there, and that's mostly that you need a local presence. Maybe you really need your website translated also. You need your app fully translated. And well, I think we will do that in the next coming months even, but we did not have the resources for that in the past. But countries like Germany, France, some other countries, they really need local presence, because the market's maybe a little bit different, but it's more like a cultural thing and a language thing that you don't have the success there yet that maybe the tool deserves.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for talking to us today. Lots of useful insights.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure, thank you.